Here we come to see the world under attack. Here we go hard and never fail. We don't back down. You can't stop the fire we bring. Defending the world from aliens and things. It's the Tubular. 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 It's the Tubular to attack. We go hard. 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 Defending the world from aliens and things. Guardians. It's Tirich.
Come on, Ha-Nuel! I can't do this all day!
He's trying! Yelling at him isn't helping.
Yeah!
Benny, dressed in his street clothes and wielding a quarterstaff, kicks away a Gould and turns to look at Gwen, the Guardian's captain, also in her street clothes, but is using a plastic replica of a sword, holds back two aggressive attackers on the streets of Dragon Cove.
I'm just trying to encourage him.
Benny stumbles as he gets punched in the back by a charging Gould. Ha-Nuel steps around Benny and brings the heels of his hands together before thrusting them forward.
Hadouken!
GAIA, pause simulation.
The city street that the teens were battling dissolves into pixels, leaving Benny and Gwen staring at a frozen Gould standing over a felled Ha-Nuel. The pink-clad teen gingerly gets up, rubbing his jaw.
I know we want this to be realistic, but why do they have to hit so hard?
Hadouken? Really?
What else was I supposed to do? There really isn't an instruction manual.
To be fair, I would have thought you would have broken out a sonic boom!
Touché.
Did you really think copying moves from a video game was the best use of our time? The Drowned Duke seems fixated on you being a Stormcaller. You need to get prepared for whatever they throw at you.
I understand the situation, but it feels like I'm trying to play an instrument that I've never seen played before.
Dude, you're trying too hard. It's like when I first went out for QB. Every snap I was trying to do what I thought a quarterback was supposed to do, and I got lost in my head. I got pounded for weeks before I just gave up on trying to become somebody else, and just did what felt right to me.
Same thing happened to me when I started competing in swim meets. I focused on my breaths and hand placement so much that I would just be a ball of stress before each meet.
Ha-Nuel closes his eyes and stands motionless in front of his two friends. He tries to slowly shake the tension out of his shoulders as he takes a deep breath.
So, I just need to stop thinking. Not a problem. Just stop thinking about a crazy wizard who wants me dead. Don't think about how my team needs me to master this if we want to defeat Tirich Mir. Just relax and listen to the source.
Hey, Ha-Nuel, think fast!
Ha-Nuel's eyes shoot open as he sees Benny launch his quarterstaff directly at him. Without thinking, his right hand appears to grip an invisible wand and makes a graceful upward motion, while his left hand quickly raises, palm up. A gust of wind pushes the thrown weapon to the side as it passes by Ha-Nuel.
Yes!
What the hell, Benny? That could have knocked me out.
But it didn't. You just needed a situation where you weren't thinking.
That was amazing. Why did you do all those hand motions? Did you figure out the somatic component?
I'm not sure. I was focused on hearing the source and how I wanted it to be louder. Then, I thought about how a conductor controls the flow of an orchestra, and it just became clear. I can't force the source to do anything. I can just influence it.
Benny bounds over to Ha-Nuel and slaps him approvingly on the shoulder.
Pan was right about you. They said they haven't seen anyone connect to the source like you have before.
I've been saying you all have so much potential since we started training. But once the great Guardian Prime says it, everyone believes it.
That was a bit chilly.
Pun intended?
Obviously. What's your problem with Pan? They've been nothing but an asset since they got back.
not saying they haven't helped. It's just that they think they automatically know what's best. It's like we haven't been fighting this fight ourselves without them.
They do have the most experience. They were fighting the Guardians and wearing this armor for longer than anyone in existence.
You would think someone with that much experience wouldn't be the most impulsive member of our team. And that's including Benny.
Hey!
It's different with you. You might make some impulsive choices, but you stay within the team's plan. That last fight with Tirich Mir, Pan ran in without a warning for anybody.
They used to be a leader for the Guardians. It's probably tough for them to wait for orders when they spent their whole life giving them.
Of course you would defend them. They've got you wrapped up in a little space adventure idea that you can't even see straight anymore.
Is that a real thing? I know Benny's mentioned going to space with Pan, but I always thought it was like me saying I was going to the Vogue Vault. It's never gonna happen, but it's a nice dream to have.
Excuse me for trying to have a future. You might not have noticed, but I'm not like the rest of you. I don't have a lot of options. There's no colleges or special art programs knocking at my door. Unless I can figure out a way to monetize being a Guardian, I need something to look forward to.
Are you telling me that the only option you can see after high school, if you don't go to college, is to go to space with a blue alien you barely know? What about your family? What about Scarlett?
I'm not saying it's a perfect plan, but it's better than just sitting around waiting for something to happen.
What about us? We need you. If Pan leaves, we can still form Kronos. If you go, Dragon Cove and who knows how many other people could be in danger.
What, so I gotta work at a pizza place or a gas station for the rest of my life on the odd chance that there'll be a kaiju attack? How's that fair? Are you telling me that you wouldn't go to Harvard if you got in, Ha-Nuel? Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the next Olympics gonna be in Australia or something? Gwen, are you giving that up?
We can teleport from anywhere on Earth. If you're in the Andromeda Galaxy with Pan, you can't get here!
Hey, we're getting pretty heated here. Let's not get to a place where we say things we regret. The way I see it is that we have two options in front of us. One, we need to help Benny find his bliss on Earth. Or two, find a way to transfer his conduit to someone before he leaves.
Ha-Nuel is right. We're just yelling and not making any progress on anything. Let's take a break, and then we can get back to helping him get control of this new power.
The dinosaur scientist known as Erald is in a flurry of activity as he darts back and forth through his lab. The Velociraptor pauses at each workstation for a moment to adjust a dial or type in a command before moving on. Standing in a corner, watching the controlled chaos, is Pan Vahan. The indigo-skinned alien, dressed in a bomber jacket and jeans, casually leans against a wall with a doubtful look on their face.
Explain to me again what you want me to do. And remember, Erald, I do not have an advanced degree in whatever pseudoscience this is.
It's really quite rudimentary, Pan. When an individual such as yourself can tune internally to higher frequencies, you can utilize cyclic harmonic repetition, bonded on a quantum level with domains of alternating opposite direction in order to generate subharmonic sympathetic responses.
And that is the simple version?
I am attempting to harness the innate energy of cyclic harmonic repetition in sympathetic resonance with a higher order harmonic series, calling forth the persistent linkage between subordinate levels of abstraction.
Oh, is that all?
Your prolonged exposure to this source energy makes you perfectly suited to act as a lightning rod to draw my sister's energy forth.
Now, was that so difficult? Do I need to do anything, or are you just plugging me into the contraption? If Hera is truly lost in the source, she could be anywhere on the elemental planes.
I have not been able to isolate the impetus of my sister's manifestations, but This technology combines crystalline vibrational resonance combined with isomorphic silicon overlays, manifesting connection to the source field. It should consolidate any ambient energies into a single manifestation.
Erald beckons forth Pan and soon attaches a collection of sensors to their body. He rolls over a chair and places it next to them.
I would advise taking a seat. There is no telling what this might do to your nervous system.
Tell me again why I am doing this?
Because there is no one I cherish more than my sister. I didn't tell her that enough while she was here. If the roles were reversed and we could bring back your most cherished person, I would gladly risk anything.
Pan sits firmly down in the chair and readies himself.
Do it.
Pan, I would like to apologize for any discomfort you are about to feel.
I have felt worse. Is it working?
I believe so. My genius even surprises me sometimes.
A hazy form begins to materialize adjacent to Hera's unconscious body. The translucent entity slowly comes into focus and resembles the injured dinosaur, excluding her injured state. The phantom Hera looks confused momentarily, and then looks about the room.
This is quite the indescribable sensation. It almost reminds me of...
Sister of mine, I would break the rules of physics to bring you back to me.
It is good to see you again, Hera.
Is that you, Harbinger? Though, I guess you go by Pan now. Blue suits you.
I do not know how long this would last, but I would be remiss if I did not express my profound regrets. It is because of my actions, dear sister, that you are in this state. If I were a better warrior, this would never have happened.
Brother, dear, dear brother, there should be no shame or regret in you. You fought as bravely as any soldier I have ever seen, and with almost no training. I was proud of you, and I am certain River smiles on you as well.
If only I could trade my life essence for yours. I would do it without hesitation.
As I would for you. But that would leave us in an endless cycle.
Ha ha! You are right as always. Let us focus on getting you out of wherever you may be. Pan has told me of elemental planes. Is that where you are?
I do not know. There are times I feel like I am somewhere, and oftentimes it feels like...
Erald reaches out for the transparent form in front of him, only to have it snap from existence before they can say another word. He whips around and shockingly observes the physical form of his sister convulsing in her stasis tube.
Sister!
Whipping around, the Velociraptor scientist sees Pan's entire body shudder before falling limp.
No! No, no!
His eyes darting back and forth between the medical devices strapped to both Hera and Pan, Erald pauses for a moment before rushing to his sister's aid.
I will not lose you, sister!
Pan opens their eyes and quickly sits up. Looking around, they find themselves on a hill overlooking a field of deep red grass and bright silver-leafed trees under a burnt orange sky at night. Vast mountain ranges capped with snow sparkle under the light of two setting suns. Slowly standing up, they can only marvel as the setting sunlight gives the silver-leaf trees the appearance of a forest on fire.
You always said when we finally won the war that you wanted to retire to Gallifrey. You were such a sucker for a good sunset.
Pan turns and sees Killjohnny walking toward them. Her purple skin almost appears to shine when compared to the dark flight suit she's wearing.
That's mostly your fault, you know. You always looked so beautiful in the setting sunlight.
I forget. How long does the sunset last here?
25 years, but not long enough.
Pan walks over to Kiljohnny and takes her hands. A smile creeps over their face as they look down at their intertwined fingers and see that both are wearing their wedding bands.
I don't remember when this happened. I thought I only saw you in my memories.
No, this never happened.
So, what does that make you? Is it really you, or is my subconscious bringing forth my most desired wish?
How would I know? I could be a figment of your imagination. Or this could be the source giving a gift to its favorite child. Doesn't really matter.
The two long-lost lovers slowly walk down the hill to the field of red grass.
I'm sorry.
For what?
For what happened to you. For what happened to everyone who fought alongside me. I led you all to your deaths. You could have had such a full life if we had never crossed paths.
You will never change. The great Pan Vahan thinks the universe will always rotate around them. Do you truly think that if I never met you, that I wouldn't have taken up arms against the Guardians?
The duo reach the bottom of the hill and find a picnic laid out before them. A puzzled but pleased look forms on Pan's face as they sit down next to Kiljohnny. She opens the picnic basket and begins to hand them small trays of food.
Are those diluvian fungal pods? And tinctus shells? All we need is...
Kotav Ale. The bottles are even chilled.
The pair enjoy their food and drinks while watching the silver leaves twinkling above them. Placing an empty bottle back into the basket, Pan stares deeply into Kiljohnny's eyes.
Am I dead?
Existence really isn't a binary thing in the source.
I think I'm either dying or I'm dead. This is all too perfect.
Would that be so bad? Don't you think you deserve a reward? You've done more in the name of the Source than any being in existence.
The war isn't over.
Does war ever end? This is not a choice between war and peace. It's a choice between peace and endless war. If you choose to leave, I can't promise I'll be here when you return to the Source.
I didn't start this crusade for a reward. This battle must be won for the sake of all beings. The Guardians, they perverted my original mission into this quest for control. Their sins are mine, and I will spend the rest of my life atoning for them.
You will never change. The great Pan Vahan will be the savior of the universe. I'm truly appreciative that we had this moment together outside the fog of war.
I thought you said you weren't really Ciel Genie.
Who's to say?
Pan takes Kiljohnny's hands in theirs, squeezes them for a moment before pulling her in for an embrace.
I wouldn't be the person I am without your influence. You've inspired me to reach for greatness, and you make me want to be a better person every day. Know that I miss feeling you in bed next to me at night, and the way you smell when we wake up. Your face, it's burned into my memory, your laugh etched into my heart forever.
I will love you until the last star dies out.
Kiljohnny breaks the embrace and takes a step away from Pan. The look of love she shared with her bonded partner becomes one of grave concern.
I know what Jay is trying to do.
How?
There isn't time. I'm not the only thing that has noticed what they're trying to do. The unalienable moment of truth knows as well.
I would never make that mistake again. Doric Prime is a lesson I'll never forget. That spirit's influence, It's too corrupt to be harnessed.
If you want your new Titan, you don't have a choice. I didn't tell you about the unalienable moment of truth to warn you, but to prepare you. You may be the only being capable of taming this spirit. Now go. Save the universe.
Pan jerks awake and immediately struggles to their feet. Pulling the sensors from their body, they stumble over to Erald, who is feverishly typing while staring intently at his sister's unconscious body.
Is she all right?
She is currently stable. Beyond that, I cannot say. It appears that forcing Hera's existence to manifest puts unbelievable strain on her physical form. This was unforeseen.
Erald, you are dealing with mystical forces that defy the logic of science. The unforeseen is unfortunately a common occurrence.
Erald pushes back from his workstation and turns to examine Pan. The blue-skinned alien looks fatigued, but stands steadily in front of him.
And you? You literally died for a few moments, and were resuscitated with no outside interference.
The source works in mysterious ways.
Frustratingly mysterious ways.
Pan gingerly makes their way to the hatch that leads to the surface. The seasoned warrior tries to walk normally, but there is a noticeable limp in their stride. They pause before leaving and turn back to their dejected dinosauroid.
Do not let the frustration consume you. You are a scientist dabbling in magic. It's not like you are a trained thaumaturgist.
I may be no thaumaturgist, but I do have access to one.
Citizens of Dragon Cove enjoy an afternoon at the park. Children play on the jungle gym while a spirited football game is taking place between a group of teenagers. Their game is interrupted as Billy strides into the middle of the field.
What the heck, dude?
I'm here to get my Dragon Cove badge. Who is the gym leader?
Gym leader?
Who's in charge? I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. And the first step happens today.
Dude, if you don't get out of our way, we're going to throw down.
Want to battle? Finally!
Billy pulls the glowing cube from his belt and points it at an irate teenager. Tiny simulations of Titans shuffle back and forth. After he taps a button on the top of the cube, a side folds open.
Fiero, it's your time to shine!
A small, holographic phoenix flies out and begins circling over Billy's head. The 6-inch bird creates a small plume of fire on each completed lap.
You're gonna fight me with a toy?
Fiero, Titanize! Wing slap attack!
Fyro does a large sweeping arc, and as it turns toward the confused teen, it grows to a full 6 feet in size. Once the full-size bird lands in front of the boy, it slaps him to the ground with its wings before taking flight.
Fiero.
And Vahan achingly forces themselves up from the captain's chair and moves to a row of monitors. GAIA's transparent form takes shape at their side as images of Billy using his holographic titans to terrorize the park come into focus.
Are those mini Titans?
It appears that way. The likenesses are uncanny. Even their movements are remarkably accurate.
Let us try to get out of the habit of complimenting the villains, shall we?
I'll open you a portal and arrange for teleportation of the Guardians.
I am too drained from Erald's experiment to try morphing. Guardians, you are needed at the park. There is a pantheon of tiny Titans that needs corralling.
The 5 teens exit their portals and behold a scene of pure chaos before them. 6-foot chibi versions of the Phoenix, Turtle, Beetle, Alicorn, and Dragon Titans wreak havoc as panicked citizens try to evade their attacks.
I know Pan said that we were going to be seeing mini Titans, but this is surreal. My Beetle's so adorable I can almost forget how much of a jerk it is.
The alicorn looks like a life-size My Little Pony. Is it wrong that I want to ride it?
It doesn't look like they've caused too much damage, but let's put them down before anyone gets hurt. Everyone, focus on your Titan since you know them the best.
I think I know who's behind this, but it's not possible. Billy was... Billy? From this morning, Billy? Yeah, he was working on a game with these exact designs. They were just little sprites. There's no way he could have been able to do this on his own.
Okay, everyone keep an eye out for this Billy. Stopping him may end this fight before it gets started. Guardians, engage!
Druidic Defender!
Storm Sentinel!
Dominite!
Fire Paladin!
Hydro Hoplite!
The armored guardians rush toward the center of the chaotic swarm of activity. Summoning their elemental weapons, they break off to engage their individual elemental equivalent.
All right, come to Mama Hoplite. I don't want to hurt ya.
Crash.
Crash? Is that your name?
The blue guardian cautiously reaches out her hand toward the crystalline dragon. The dragon eyes her cautiously and moves forward. Unbeknownst to Gwen, Billy intently watches the interaction.
You're not that bad. Just a giant, goofy-looking water dragon.
Crash! Frostnut!
Crash, crash.
Wrapping its snake-like lower half around the blue guardian, the tiny dragon titan begins to freeze her in place.
Two can play this game. Frost Touch!
Gwen puts both of her hands to the side of the dragon's head as ice begins to form, obscuring the dragon's vision and movement.
Hoplite, what are you... Okay, you little spark plug. Let's dance.
Using her lance like a pole vaulter, the Black Guardian lands a powerful kick to the Onyx Beetle.
Bolt! Use Bolt Tackle!
Bolt.
Just a little note to the game designer. The actual alicorn spirit is pretty chill. This thing's vibes are way off. Oh, no you don't.
Using his wind chakrams, the Pink Guardian blocks a powerful blast from the alicorn's horn.
Flitter.
Well, flitter right back at you.
Flitter! Stealth wind attack, now!
Stealth what now?
Flitter, flitter.
The tiny alicorn titan begins to rotate in place faster and faster until it can no longer be seen. The confused teen hero looks around, preparing himself for an attack. Scooping Ha-Nuel onto its back, the alicorn lifts into the air, spinning faster and faster before launching its unwilling rider to the ground. The flaming phoenix tiny titan swoops down to attack the annoyed red guardian standing before it. The enraged young hero rushes forward with his flaming warhammer raised above his head.
Fiero.
Paladin!
Fiero, fiero. Fiero, fiero.
Paladin! Paladin! Paladin!
Fiero, fiero.
Benny is knocked back as the phoenix fiery beak slams into his chest before taking flight.
Alright, no more Mr. Nice Guardian.
Leaping up, the red guardian grabs onto the talons of the flying tiny titan and is pulled skyward.
You're not getting away that easily!
Jay stands before the car-sized tiny turtle titan with their earth shield prepared to block an attack. They peek over their shield and come face to face with a grinning turtle.
Hey? Billy, where are you? I think your turtle is malfunctioning, Billy.
Appearing from nowhere, Billy jogs over and kneels in front of the slow-moving turtle.
Billy! How did you create these hard-like titans? Did you adjust the Promethean subroutine with a port phase emitter? Billy?
These Dragon Cove Titans are pretty tough, Tremor. But we can't give up. As sure as I'm Champ Astro, we'll find a way to win that badge. I just need to find her trainer.
Champ Astro? Trainer? Blathering Blatherskite! Han, we need you here right away.
Defender, what's the matter?
Just get here.
All right. Guardians?
Wait! We don't need the Void Vanguard, we need Han Vahan, Dragon Cove's gym leader.
What?
No time to explain. Just tell that guy that you're invoking the test of unity.
Who is that?
He goes by Champ Astro. Just do it.
Champ Astro, I invoke a test of unity.
Billy turns from his tiny titan and confidently walks up to Pan. The blue-skinned alien is more than a head's length taller than the teen. Placing his hands on his hips, he smiles broadly as he looks up at Pan.
A test of unity? Only a gym leader can call for that. Are you the Dragon Cove gym leader?
Sure. Why not?
You're willing to risk your badge on a single attack?
Am I, Jay?
Yeah.
Champ, I wager my badge.
Fiero, Volt, Scratch, Tremor, and Flitter! It's time to get Titanic!
The 5 tiny titans quickly go through a strikingly similar combining process to when the Guardians form Cronus, Benny, Ha-Nuel, Gwen, and Scarlett arrive in time to see the process end and find themselves staring at a 12-foot replica of their Mega Titan.
Titanos.
Why does it have that weird grin on its face? It's creeping me out.
Defender, what's going on?
Billy thinks he's in his video game. Imagine Pokemon, but with Titans.
That explains the bird yelling one word over and over.
How do we get him out of the game? Do we just defeat this mini Cronus?
That's what I'm hoping for. All we have to do is beat his Cronus in a single strike.
Wait, we only have one try? Those little titans aren't pushovers, and Cronus is only going to be tougher.
It's simple mathematics. The mini Cronus is roughly 1/10 the size of our actual Cronus. Statistically, its strike should also be 1/10 as powerful.
That's still pretty damn powerful.
True, but not as powerful as our world anvil.
So this is just a mystical arm wrestling match? Winner takes all?
Pretty much.
All right, let's assume.
Actually, it's better if Han tells us what to do. In the game, the trainer tells the Titans what to do. We don't want to destroy the illusion if we don't have to.
Are you kidding me?
Hoplite, it's just pretend.
Whatever.
Guardians, assemble World Anvil.
The minute Mega Titan stares down the quintet of heroes posed behind their assembled weapons as it pulls out its Thunder Sword.
Titanus, Ultimate Strike!
Guardians, Anvil Strike.
How long should this take? I feel like this thing is hitting us as hard as we're hitting it.
Just a few more seconds.
As the smoke clears, the mini Mega Titan, Titanus, falls backwards, slamming into the ground in front of him. The impact knocks him off his feet, and when he hits the ground, both he and the tiny titans disappear in a pixelated blink.
Defender? Did we just kill Billy? Please tell me we did not just murder that poor kid.
I was worried about this. I was hoping that defeating him would knock him out of the game, but it seems like he built in the failsafe of respawning.
And, what does that mean for those of us that have never played these games?
The game isn't designed to ever let you die. If you lose, you just wake up in the hospital.
So we just looked to see if any hospital had a teenage boy just pop into the ER? Doesn't sound too complicated.
We're just assuming that there's a direct correlation to reality to Billy's game. The hospital could be anything and anywhere. Our best bet is to head back to the Enduring Enterprise and scan for ley line energy spikes.
Small animals scurry as Erald trudges through some brush. With his focus entirely on the device in his clawed hand, he is oblivious to the fleeing creatures.
Come out, wherever you are. Your thaumaturgical abilities may hide you from the common riffraff, but nothing can be hidden from the might of my technical prowess. Duke, I know you can hear me. My calculations have shown this area shows a spike in ley line energy, and that means you are either here or are monitoring this area. You pompous wizard! I, Erald, spawn of Drak and Julkane, scientist of the Royal Order, formally request an audience with the drowned Duke, Thaumaturge First Class.
Black liquid bubbles up from the ground and slowly and deliberately forms a humanoid silhouette. The liquid solidifies and drops away, revealing the svelte, drowned Duke.
How the mighty have fallen. The once great pride of the Science Council crawling in the woods, begging for help from the one he called, no better than a court jester?
It is good to see you again as well. You are looking gaunt and pompous as I remember.
Why should I not smote you where you stand? Treason, even a failed attempt, is punishable by death.
You and I both know that binary thinking is for lesser beings. My motivations are inconsequential. All my energies are now dedicated to one task and one task only.
And what is the holy mission that will force me to overlook your backstabbing?
My dearest sister. She sacrificed herself to save me, and I've been unable to heal her.
I thought there was nothing that your vaunted science could not do. My parlor tricks are surely not going to help, are they?
My time on the surface has been illuminating. Your magic is the cheat code for the world. Given enough time, my science will crack the code, but my sister does not have that luxury.
So, we know why you need me, but I fail to see why I should waste my immeasurable power to help you.
You are using the ley line energy to augment Tirich Mir's chrysalis, are you not?
Perhaps.
You are attempting to get the Guardians to force the Geomonsters to evolve into monstrous size, to give the Dark Lord as much energy as possible. The flaw in your plan is that the Guardians either defeat the monster before they have absorbed enough energy, or they keep the crystal for themselves.
They are frustratingly efficient.
I can guarantee that every Geomonster will produce the maximum amount of energy. All I require is that you assist me in returning Hera's soul to her body.
She has become disconnected from her body. I cannot fathom what foolishness led to this.
The tall water wizard turns away from the diminutive scientist and stares toward the horizon.
You would be willing to strike this deal, knowing that Tirich Mir will come for you after they finish with the Guardians.
A deal with the devil is better than no deal at all.
The tense silence is broken by the arrival of a single Frugger. The overly muscular amphibian lowers his sunglasses and winks as he passes Erald.
Well done, Rash. It seems like an opportunity to test our new arrangement has arrived. The latest geo-monster, I believe you call them, has been found. A surface dweller has been gifted the ability to summon minions to do his bidding. Let us see if we can influence him to join our cause.
And then we will begin formulating a plan to save my sister.
Billy's pixelated form manifests in the back of a diner, and once his form solidifies, he sits up and brushes imaginary dirt from his shoulder. He bounds out of the booth and makes his way over to a confused waitress.
Can I help you?
Nurse Nancy, thanks so much for helping me and my Titans out.
What?
The confused look on the waitress's face turns to horror as the drowned Duke and Erald take form in the entryway of the eatery.
They do not pay me enough for this.
Professor Cedar, Officer Cupcake, what are you doing here?
I believe he has recently received a blow to the head.
This one is not seeing the world as it truly is. Allow me a moment, and we will see the world as they do. By the lights of Donagor and the waters of Malkova.
A mystical steam emits from the drowned Duke's hand and fills the diner. When it dissipates, the diner now resembles a medical facility. Erald's dinosaur form has been replaced with that of a bespectacled old man with wild hair, while the drowned Duke's form is that of a plump and jolly police officer.
This is quite disconcerting.
Indeed.
Professor, the Dragon Cove trainer is the toughest I've ever faced. I don't think I can beat them.
Well, my dear boy, I think I have exactly the right thing to help you.
Erald reaches into his lab coat and pulls out a small device, a compact version of the device he used to grow the magma squid.
This will undoubtedly give you the upper hand in your next foray with that trainer.
But Professor, aren't power-ups against the rules?
Usually, but this is from Officer Cupcake, so you know it is going to be allowed. Isn't that right, my dear constable? Duke, the boy sees you as an enforcer of laws. Assure him that he is not breaking any rules.
Very well. I, Officer Cupcake, Chief Law Officer of this realm, deem this power-up legal.
But why?
Oh, for the other trainer has been breaking the rules, and his reign of tyranny must be stopped. You are our only hope.
You can count on me.
Billy turns, tucking the device into his pocket, and sprints out the door. The illusion slowly fades away, leaving Erald and the drowned Duke standing alone in the diner.
Is the surface world always this peculiar?
Not usually, but it does have its advantages. Let me introduce you to a wonderful concoction called Frenched fries. Dipped in ranch dressing.
The demorphed Guardians mill about the bridge of the enduring Enterprise as Jay, Ha-Nuel, and GAIA search for signs of Billy and the Tiny Titans.
GAIA, come here and take a look at these readings. I think there's something wrong with the probe.
The probe appears to be functioning normally, Ha-Nuel. Perhaps you were referring to the optimal silicon tricorder? Right here, besides this structural power indicator.
If we use the increased bio panel to align it with the computer coil nacelle, then...
Yes, of course! Then, by modifying this primary energy chamber, we can make it work in conjunction with the computer baseline tie-in. That would
increase the efficiency of the exterior flux plate by 38%, thus reducing the load on the scientific impulse conduit.
Ha-Nuel, you're a genius.
This beautiful head isn't just a hat rack.
The trio return to their sensor array while Benny, Scarlett, and Gwen relax at a few empty terminals. Pan leans against his captain's chair, stretching out his back.
So, Pan, how hard would it be to learn to fly this thing?
Honestly, it is not that difficult to fly once you are out of orbit. Space is pretty spacious. The trick is flying it well in orbit.
I've gotten pretty good with my Phoenix. I think I can handle this baby no problem.
You would be surprised at how different it can be. Ciel Jani could fly circles around you in a freighter. She was the greatest pilot I have ever flown with.
Ooh, she sounds badass.
She truly was. It is rare to find someone who pushes you to be the best version of yourself.
Benny turns in his chair and stares across the bridge to see Scarlett gesticulating wildly as she argues with Gwen.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The odds have to be astronomical.
I think you're reaching a little, Scarlett.
How? Jay's been involved in 2 dates since we met. The first resulted in the garbage coil. And now this kid Billy is leading Tiny Titans against us.
Okay, I'll admit, that is a little weird.
Yeah, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, and thrice, that's a pattern.
I guess we don't have any other options. Jay has to stop dating for the safety of Dragon Cove.
It's go time. Looks like Billy is downtown.
The 5 teens in their elemental armor leap from their portals and rush to confront Billy and his imitation titans.
We don't want to fight, but if we do, you'll lose again. If you don't want to fight, what do you want?
Hoplite, remember?
Ugh. Pan, we need you.
All right, champ. Let us talk this out.
How could you?
Excuse me?
You besmirched the good name of a Titan League. Officer Cupcake told me you're a cheater.
Defender?
I have no idea what's happening.
If you're going to cheat, then all bets are off. Titans, let's get Mega Titanic!
As the tiny titans begin to combine into Titanus, Billy throws Erald's device, latching to the back of the combined mech. Energy pulses through Titanus, and the 12-foot mech rapidly grows to 120 feet.
Whoa! Looks like our mini-me's have received a serious upgrade. It's Titan time!
I summon the rock that supports.
I summon the light in the darkness.
I summon the wings of change.
I summon the cry that ignites justice.
I summon the claws that rid life.
The Guardian Titans rush from their elemental planes and streak towards their merged doppelgangers. The 5 multicolored teams teleport into their mechs and immediately start toggling switches.
That's the Mega Titan!
The 2 combined mechs, both wielding matching swords and shields, stand ready to strike.
Hoplite, please tell me in all of your insane planning that you have a plan to defeat ourselves?
So now you understand why I keep calling for all those strategy sessions.
Nietzsche was right when he said, "You yourself will always be the worst enemy you encounter."
This Titanus is our exact duplicate. Initial scans show that it literally has our every component. Billy did an unbelievable job with his designs.
Can we not compliment the robot that is kicking our butts?
I'm just saying that he didn't have any blueprints and somehow reverse engineered the Titans and the merging process.
I'm glad your genius boyfriend is so impressive, but we need our resident genius to out-genius him.
He's not my boyfriend!
Regardless, you know how he thinks and how this game of his works. How do we end this?
If we defeat them, aren't they just gonna disappear like last time? Do we have to lose to defeat them?
Oh, we are not losing to this cheap carbon copy!
Defender, does Billy's game have cheat codes or anything that can give us an advantage?
I don't think Billy would... No, that's a terrible idea.
No one knows what's a good idea or a bad idea until they try it.
Sentinel, can we make a source stage? We need something that can absorb Titanus. If we capture Billy's Titans, he should be kicked out of the game.
With a powerful shoulder smash, Cronus knocks Titanus backwards, creating space between the towering mechs. The two large mechanical hands of the Guardian's Mega Titan come together and begin to glow. Soon, the giant robot is holding a glowing sphere of source energy.
Source cage ready to go.
The ball of energy slams into and rebounds a short distance before it opens. Strands of source energy reach out and begin to wrap around the doppelganger Mega Titan. In a flash, the giant mech is gone, and the glowing sphere, rolling gently back and forth, remains.
Excellent work, Guardians. Your little human friend has passed out, and his clothes have altered.
The 5 armored heroes rush over to Pan, who is on one knee, cradling the semi-conscious Billy. Jay kneels and taps the side of the visor.
No residual source energy. Billy, can you hear me?
What? Where?
He might have a concussion.
What year did the Curies win their Nobel Prize?
Curies? 1903 for study into spontaneous radiation.
He's fine.
The large, lumbering form of Haxatar Obliterus enters the hidden subterranean lair of Tirich Mir. The Triceraton warrior carries under one arm the glowing sphere of source energy that captured Billy's Titanus.
Was it a challenge to obtain the orb?
None at all. Haxatar is not just a fierce warrior. Stealth is a tool of Haxatar's just as strength. The foolish Guardians were concerned with the afflicted human and didn't notice a thing.
Perfect. It's good to know that you're not completely incompetent. Now, hand over the wild magic.
Haxatar takes a step away from the outstretched hand of the drowned Duke and stares at the wizard quizzically.
You have a secret.
Excuse me?
You are not telling Haxatar the whole story. Haxatar can tell when secrets are being kept. Everyone, even great wizards, have tells.
Are you under some grand illusion that you are to be privy to every one of my thoughts? I have machinations that you cannot possibly comprehend.
Haxatar only cares for helping the Dark Lord. Haxatar has no time for schemes or machinations. If you continue to deceive the Dark Lord, you will not continue to breathe.
The mountainous dinosaur figure nonchalantly tosses the sphere of energy to the vexed amphibian wizard. The two bitter rivals stare at each other for a moment before parting ways wordlessly. The drowned Duke effortlessly glides into the throne room of the Dark Lord of the Seven Kingdoms. Tirich Mir, in his mechanical spider-like carapace, sits motionless on a raised dais.
My lord, I obtained for you the strongest portion of wild magic yet. With this, your chrysalis will be very nearly complete.
I'm tired of this infernal waiting and your incompetence. After the absorption of this energy, I will personally see to the end of the Guardians.
Would that be the most prudent course of action? We are under no strict timetable, and these Guardians have proven themselves to be formidable. We cannot forget that they defeated both Harbinger and Hera.
How dare you question my orders, drowned Duke? Are you implying that these rainbow-colored surface dwellers are going to be the ones to end my millennia-long reign? That I, the great Tirich Mir, would be defeated by these hairless apes and their colorful magic? Do you forget who you are dealing with?
My apologies, Tirich Mir. I did not mean to disrespect you. I only wish for you to be in the optimal state when combating the Guardians.
Apologies will not cut it this time. You are lucky to even be a part of my inner circle. Do not forget your place.
I won't, my lord. I live only to serve you.
Good. Now get out of my sight. I must be bound with this energy, and your presence is nothing but a distraction. And Duke, next time you think to challenge me, remember this moment. I will not be so forgiving again.
Billy pulls the rad bug into one of the last open spaces at the Silver Sage drive-thru. Jay sits nervously in the passenger, holding the bag of their fast food as Billy exits the car and attaches the speaker to the window.
I'm really glad Project Curie is actually happening.
Me too. Did you know that Marie Curie was the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different fields?
Yes, she was a total trailblazer. I'm a big fan of her work on radioactivity. It's so cool how she and her husband Pierre discovered 2 new elements.
You know who else is a fan of hers? The Green Guardian.
They are.
Yeah, they asked me a cute factoid to ascertain if I had a concussion. What are the odds?
The odds?
The odds of a superhero my friend would both be fixated on the same scientist.
The 2 young scientists lock eyes. A palpable feeling of tension and nervousness fills the small interior of the radbug. Wordlessly, the teens travel through feelings of trepidation, followed by inquisitiveness, and finally, mutual understanding.
That would be quite the coincidence. Hypothetically speaking, I'm sure the Green Guardian wishes they could tell their friend about all the crazy technology they've gotten to use, or discuss theories on how the Titans might be able to be configured in different ways, but they can't. They wouldn't want to put their really good friend at risk, and they feel guilty about it every day. At least, that's what I would feel if I was the Green Guardian. Hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically speaking, if my friend was a Green Guardian, I would tell them that if they ever need someone to talk to, I would gladly be okay at the risk.
With matching smiles, the teens hand out their fast food and prepare to enjoy the film.
Have you seen the movie Radioactive about Marie Curie's life? I heard it's really well done.
I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard really good things. We should watch it together sometime. You know, to get more data for Project Curie.
That would be great! And maybe we could follow it up with some of her original research papers. My dad is in it at a museum, and I bet we get a special tour.
We should have explored/experimented in social sciences years ago.
Tubular Teens with Titans is written and produced by Velvet Fiend Rabbit Productions. Our theme song, Thunder Sword, is written and produced by Ahmad Judah and Joe Chasm, with lyrics and vocals by Keisha Wallace. If you liked what you just heard, please head over to the podcast service of your choice and leave us a rating and a review. It truly helps more people find the show. Tubular Teeth with Titans features the vocal talents of...
I'm Briar Zachary, and I play the Druidic Defender, Terra.
Ryan Tibbet, and I played Benny Humo, the Pyre Paladin.
I'm Tim Loika, and I play Storm Sentinel, Ha-Nuel Yasao.
I'm Keisha Wallace, and I play the Hydro Hoplite, Gwen Avalon.
Sup, I'm Allegra Rodriguez Shivers, and I play the Nova Knight, also known as Scarlett Watts.
I'm Shane Cochran, and I voice Erald.
Chris, and I play Terra.
I'm Michael Waldschlager II, and I play Pan Vahan, Guardian Prime.
I'm Noah, and I play Johnny Dakota.
Kyle Gould as Reginald Thaddeus III.
I'm Jerry Kokich, and I play the Drowned Duke.
I'm PJ Argento, and I voice Tirich Mir.
Hi, I'm Sarah Roberts, and I play Desdemona George.